Let me answer some questions. Hopefully there aren't many because I've been rambling on longer than I thought. All right, let's go. Where is it? Here we go. Question time. I took a quick skim, and I'm also going to take a quick drink of water here. All right. PFT PM Posse, with modern NFL players working out longer and more, harder and more tailored training regimens, 365 days a year, why are injuries occurring more often, and why don't we see more players like at the running back position able to have long and productive careers like Emmitt Smith? Some would say that the absence of intense two-a-days, full contact, tackle to the ground, that's one of the reasons why players aren't as durable when it's time to go play full contact, tackle to the ground football. That the callus you would otherwise have isn't there, and it makes you more susceptible to injury. I don't know how you quantify that, but I've heard that from people in the game that, and I don't know whether it's just wistfully wishing for the good old days or whatever, but the argument has been made that because practices aren't as strenuous and demanding and risky physically as they used to be, it sets the stage for greater injuries during the games. Also, players keep getting bigger and stronger and faster. They just do. Something's got to give when those bigger and stronger and faster players crash into each other. So I think that has something to do with it as well. It's just a very physical and violent game. Even as they try to make it safer, you still have bone and cartilage and ligaments and muscle that are going to get injured when those bodies crash into each other. PFT PM Posse, what is your favorite Turkey Day memory, food, and activity? I tweeted about this on Wednesday night. I love the night before Thanksgiving because that's when my mom would bake pumpkin pies, and she would have those little like Pyrex glass bowls where she'd put the extra pie filling in and bake that. And it was like a little pudding cup. Back in the days when people made their own pudding at home, you didn't just peel the top off and eat it. You made the pudding at home, and there would be butterscotch and there would be chocolate. You'd have that from time to time. But once a year, the pudding bowls would be replaced with the pumpkin pie filling. And that was always, it was just kind of like the world slows down a little bit. It's the calm before the storm of Thanksgiving Day. It's kind of nice. It's a rare and unique feeling. You get it on Christmas Eve. That's really it. The night before Thanksgiving and Christmas Eve, those are the 2 days a year where it just feels like the world slows down a little bit and kind of braces for what's coming next. Also, I used to love playing football on Thanksgiving. I have some fun memories of the Thanksgiving Day football game. It's been 20 plus years since I've done it, and I can't do it now because I can't run for very long. I can run, but then like it would be like I'd be good for one snap because my knees are shot. I can ride a bike all day, every day if I have to, but I just can't run. So I miss playing football on Thanksgiving morning. Those were some fun memories, especially if I made it out of the game uninjured. PFT PM Posse, since I'm currently sitting next to a deer stand in the woods, hunting with my son-in-law, waiting for legal shooting time in 2 minutes. Have you ever hunted? If so, what kind, and did you like it? I hunted one time, and it wasn't really hunting. I was visiting my uncle in Tennessee, and there was a squirrel that was messing with his garden, and he gave me the BB gun. He said, take care of the squirrel. And long story short, I did, and it scarred me emotionally, and I have no desire to ever hunt again, anything, under any set of circumstances, ever. I'm not saying that people shouldn't. I've got no desire to do it. And now that I've become a dog person, I'm even less equipped to process the concept of killing another living thing, other than an insect, obviously. But you know, deer, rabbits, turkeys. I don't know. Turkeys are kind of worthless and they taste good. I still don't. I don't. It's not for me. It's not for me. The idea of killing another living thing is not for me. And I went through it 40 plus years ago, and it really did scar me. I still kind of think about it from time to time. And it's not for me. It's not for me. I know we need to control the herd, and we don't want cars running into the deer that haven't been, humane. I don't know how humane it is to put a bullet through it. It's not really humane. And then you gut them, and it's anyway. It's not for me. If it's for you, that's fine. It's not for me. All right. Tom Marshall. One more important question. Did you throw Macy a Thanksgiving bone? There was no bone to give her. And you got to be careful with bones with dogs, because the bones can wreak havoc. But she did get Now, what we try to do, because she goes nuts. She loves being around the family. And it's been a while since people have been over. We tried to keep her downstairs behind a gate. She got through it somehow. That was a first. She found a way to get through it. She comes running upstairs, jumping all over everybody. But eventually she was around. And she always comes to me because I'm the softest touch. I'm the easiest mark for food. She wants bread. And there's a certain cookie that we make. It's called a galette. It's like a thick pitzel. We had some of those and she was going nuts. She's drooling all over the place. And so she had her treats from my plate. I get to eat extra because part of what I eat goes directly to Macy. So she was happy to be around everybody, but she learned how to escape. We're going to need to come up with a better way to contain Macy on holidays because she has found a way to escape from her gate and get upstairs. Manuel Villa, how do owners go from being bad to good? The last 3 years have been rough for my Texans, and Cal McNair has been the punching bag, but it seems there has been a major turnaround. Is it as simple as getting the head coach quarterback combination right and staying the hell away? Yes, it's also important to get Jack Easterby the hell out of town. Jack Easterby was the guy who had hypnotized, mesmerized, somehow gotten control of the organization, and Cal McNair fell for it. Once they moved on from him, it allowed Nick Caserio to do his thing and D'Amico Ryans to do his thing, and it's working. The best owners make their decisions about who they're going to hire. They hire them and they get out of the way. Just be a fan. You don't have to have a spoon in the stew. You don't have to be involved in day-to-day operations. You can be consulted for the big stuff, and you can bring some stuff to the table. There are some things that are transferable from one industry to the next, but the idea that David Tepper is just going to show up in Carolina and say, I made a shitload of money as a hedge fund manager, and I know how to run a business, and I'm going to run this business even though I've never run a football team and don't know anything about football other than what I picked up while watching it on TV over the years. That's not good for anybody. So stay out of the way and let it go. All right. Another one from Manuel Villa. What's your opinion on the Titans owning the rights to the Oilers? Doesn't it seem right that Houston retains them? As a 33-year-old Texans fan, I have no history with the Oilers other than the jerseys. Helmets look cool and would be great for my team to wear. Hey, look, you know what they should have done? Houston should have done what Cleveland did. Should have negotiated under the threat of litigation as the Oilers were packing up and moving to Tennessee. Work out a deal where they leave the Oilers behind. They changed the name anyway. They changed it to Titans after a couple of years, force them to come up with a new name now, and keep Oilers in Houston for when Houston gets a team again, just like the Browns did. It was a failure of the folks running the show in Houston at the time. It would have been easy to do, and Bud Adams probably would have happily given up Oilers because he was giving it up anyway after a couple of years in Tennessee. Tom Marshall, is it time to say trading away Tyreek Hill was a mistake? It wasn't last year. And they won a Super Bowl by doing it. It's kind of like the Rams approach. Like there was a bill to pay on the back end of winning the Super Bowl, but we won a Super Bowl. But for what the Chiefs are trying to do, which is create a dynasty and win more than just two, it's a mistake. It's a mistake. Last year, maybe the whole thing fueled them, inspired the receivers. This year, it's not working. And Tyreek Hill would have caught that pass that Marquez Valdes-Scantling dropped. And maybe you don't even need to have to score a touchdown late in the game if you have Tyreek Hill. So, yeah, it was a mistake. If your goal is to win 4, 5, 6, it's a mistake to not have Tyreek Hill for as long as you can have Tyreek Hill, even if he's a pain in the ass. Some pains in the ass are worth it. Lawrence Taylor was a pain in the ass. He was worth it. Randy Moss was a pain in the ass. He was worth it. Tyreek Hill, apparently, a couple years ago, became a pain in the ass for the Chiefs. Worth it because of what he can do for your team. Worth it. And yes, it was a mistake, I believe, for the Chiefs to not find a way to keep him along or around for as long as possible. Tom Marshall had one more question. Could Dak be the MVP without the Cowboys winning the NFC East? I addressed that earlier. I don't think it's going to happen. Manuel Villa has a question about a possible NFL draft lottery. It's not going to happen. Draft lottery is not going to happen because it acknowledges in a roundabout way that there's a connection between being bad and getting the best picks in the draft. They would have done it by now. It's just not going to happen unless you can do it in a way, and I've suggested in the past, equal shot for all non-playoff teams. So there's no incentive to be even worse to get more balls in the hopper. Playoffs, you're not in the lottery. Non-playoffs, you're in, and everybody has the same chance, although people don't like that either because then the worst team possibly ends up with the 20th pick in the draft. And just do it for round one. The other rounds, do it based on how you finish. Round one, that's the one where you need to remove the incentive to tank, because there is a very real incentive to tank, and some teams tank. But what the NFL has basically decided, as long as you don't say to the world, we are tanking and we're not joking about it, they're not going to do anything about it. All right, I should probably wrap this up. I'm looking through here for some more questions. We got some good ones. Pauline, our good friend in the UK, do you think Denver can sustain this improvement and make the playoffs? Also, did you manage to stay away for Cowboys Commanders? Let me take the last question first. No. And I was going to drink a Red Bull, but I felt so bloated from the food. I thought like if I drank the Red Bull, I would explode like Mr. Creosote in Monty Python's The Meaning of Life. So no, I did not have the Red Bull. And yes, just when I thought I was fine, it happens to me every year. Just when I think I'm fine, I'm out. I don't have a chance to do it. And of course, they take pictures of me and they text it around to the different chains. Here I am looking like I was dead, like, head back, mouth open a little bit. Drool, maybe. I don't know. Of course, that would be proof of life. But I didn't make it to the end of the first quarter. But I only slept for a little bit. And then when it was 31-10, about 7:15 Eastern, getting ready to go down to the barn to watch the last game, I did just get on the couch and say, I'll set the alarm for 8 o'clock, and whatever happens, the rest of the way happens, because it's not like the Commanders are going to win this game. So I did take a deliberate 45-minute nap. And I missed the turkey leg celebration. I missed the Deron Bland pick six, because it was 31-10. Give me a break. The Commanders weren't coming back. Jordan Kane, with regards, I'm going to read this question without reading it in advance. Let's see what Jordan Kane's asking about the Peacock game. With regards to the exclusive Peacock regular season and postseason game, what do you say to people who can't watch live? I work every Saturday night and come home and watch college football, but it would apply for these two games. Will a replay of the game be available on Peacock right after? I don't know the answer to that question. I'll find out. I mean, usually, yes, like on Amazon, you can watch the game after the game has ended. And if not, NFL Plus has it. But I'd like to think Peacock makes it available. I don't know the answer to that question. I do know this. It's like $199 a month. Is that what it is? $199 a month, Black Friday sale. So you can have Peacock for the December 23rd game between the Bills and the Chargers, and the exclusive Peacock-only wild card game. I mean, if you don't already have Peacock, like 30 million people do. Peacock is an excellent service. All the Office episodes are on there. All of the Office mega episodes, extended episodes are on there as well. Oh, by the way, PFT Live is on there too. Paul, I keep saying, I didn't answer the other question from Pauline. I think Denver can sustain the improvement. It's just going to be hard to go from 5-5 into one of the spots. The AFC continues to be a tough conference, and there's going to be a very good team that is playing very good football that could get hot in the postseason that just doesn't make it, because there are too many very good teams in the AFC. But we've seen a softening, and maybe there is an opening there for the Broncos to keep doing what they're doing. All right, I should probably wrap this up. It has been well over an hour. Daniel White, do you think the Browns can get the win at Mile High? I have picked the Browns to win, even though the Browns are not favored. I'm surprised the Broncos are favored. The Browns have a suffocating defense. They just beat the Steelers with Dorian Thompson-Robinson getting his second NFL start. I picked the score 17-9. I made it my best bet. Browns getting like 2.5 points, and also the under. It was 35. The under in that game is another one of my best bets for this weekend. Let's call it there. There's a few more, but it's stuff I've either addressed today or I've addressed recently or will be addressing in the future. Next Wednesday, another edition of PFT PM, where I'll answer your questions and talk about whatever is happening. PFT Live returns on Monday. Check out Football Night in America, 7 o'clock Eastern on NBC and Peacock on Sunday night, in advance of Ravens Chargers. Can the Chargers get it right? Can they save Brandon Staley? Can the Ravens keep their hold currently for now on the top seed in the AFC? Great game on Sunday. Great game today. Great game. Hopefully a great game between the Dolphins and the Jets. Check that out as well. And we will see you again Monday for PFT Live and next Wednesday for PFT PM. Thanks for some of your time. Have a great weekend. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.